everyone, my name is Tu Trương, a student majoring in Business Administration. Today in the food culture class, I will take you to my country to celebrate Tết Nguyên đán and learn about traditional dishes during this event. Let's go. In this journey, I will tell you why I choose Vietnam as my destination and why Tết Nguyên đán and not any other holiday. Following the question, we will also answer together the geographical, climatic, historical, and cultural influences on Tết cuisine here. Vietnam was chosen as the destination for this journey because of its incredibly rich culinary culture, a wonderful blend of tradition, climate, and centuries of cultural exchange. Vietnamese cuisine represents one of the most diverse and healthy cuisines, with fresh ingredients, minimalist cooking techniques, and a perfect balance of five basic flavors. Why I choose Tết Nguyên đán? Because Tết Nguyên đán is the heart of Vietnamese culture. Tết is celebrated on the first day on the first lunar month, so we can call Lunar New Year. It marks the arrival of spring and the Lunar New Year. The festival symbolizes renewal, family reunion, and gratitude to ancestors. About family reunion, this is an occasion for families across Vietnam and around the world to gather, emphasizing the importance of respecting ancestors and family bonds through shared meals. About spring renewal, the festival celebrates new beginnings, fresh starts, and the arrival of spring with dishes symbolizing prosperity and good fortune for the new year. About culinary tradition, special dishes for Tết are prepared with in advance. It's with deep cultural significance and representing wishes for health, prosperity, and happiness. First, we will learn about the geographical characteristics of Vietnam. The difference in terrain and natural conditions between regions will provide different typical food choices. Geography Vietnam is located on the eastern edge of the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. Vietnam has an S-shape stretching from north to south, with a coastline of more than 3,200 kilometers. The territory consists of three distinct regions: the north, with many mountains and the Red River Delta; the central region, with a narrow coastal strip interspersed with mountains and hills; and the vast south with the fertile Mekong Delta. About the North Vietnam, the North is the cradle of the Red River Delta, with a fertile land and a long history of rice cultivation. There are many mixed-land and mountainous areas. Display provide the following ingredients: rice, bamboo sauce, young leaf, sticky rice, and chicken. The central region has small narrow plains, long coastline, many hills and mountains, and little arable land, so raw materials are often from the seas and mountain areas such as rice fish, sour shrimp, pork, pickled vegetables, and sticky rice. The south is the vast Mekong Delta, fertile alluvial soils, creek-crossing river, fruit trees all year round. Raw materials used in food processing are also more diverse and abundant, such as pork, date eggs, banana leaf, coconuts. Next, we will learn about the climate of Vietnam. The difference in climate affects the way food is prepared and reserved during the traditional Tết holiday. Vietnam is in the tropical monsoon climate zone, hot and humid with lots of rain. This climate has diversity crop and livestock and has created many rich sources of raw material for cuisine in all three regions. In addition, the difference in climate in the three regions of North, Central, and South also leads to differences in tax, processing, and reservation. The North Vietnam has four distinct seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Winter is often cold and dry. Summer is hot and rainy. Dishes in the north are rich in flavor, high in protein and fat to keep the body warm, easy to reserve. The same jelly meat, pork head sausage, and potted chicken. The central region has a harsh climate, intense heat, and a long rainy season, so the dishes are salty, spicy, with lots of spices, and easy to store. Pickled vegetables, sour sauces, and jam. The south is near the equator has two seasons, rainy and dry, hot and humid weather all year round, with little fluctuation. Southern dishes are often sweet, less salty than the central region, less fatty than the north, with lots of vegetables and fruits, the same salads, pickled vegetable, and jam. Finally, I will talk about the historical and cultural influence on traditional Vietnamese New Year dishes. The North Vietnam is a long-standing political and cultural center, the capital of many feudal dynasties. These traditions in the north are closely linked to ritual, standard, and sophistication. That dishes in the north are elaborate, bearing the mark of royal tradition and agricultural culture. The central region was once the capital of the Nguyen dynasty, Huế, and is also the place where Chamba and Vietnamese culture intersect. In Huế, Tết cuisine is royal, elaborate, and sophisticated. In other regions of the central region, due to past history, the dishes tend to be simple. Test dishes do not have as many dishes as in the north, nor as liberal as in the south, but are just enough, compact but rich and meaningful. The South is a new land discovered later, receiving many influence from the Chinese, Khmer, and Chamba people. Thus cuisine is rich, open, and has a multicultural exchange, so the dishes are often liberal, less constrained in ritual than in the North. In addition to the historical value expressed through the way of preparing the Tết tray, traditional dishes also carry profound cultural value, such as legend and belief. Legend here is that Lang Liu created bánh chưng, symbolize earth, and bánh dày symbolize heaven. These two K are two indispensable dishes during Tết in the North, and according to folk belief, Tết must have a tray of 5 fruits with the wish to pray for happiness, prosperity, longevity, health, and peace in the new year. The tray of 5 fruits also had different depending on the local products of each region, north, central, and south. Regarding customer and living habits, regarding custom and practices, Vietnamese people often have the habit of storing food during Tết. So Tết dishes are also dishes um, that are easy to reserve and use for a long time, such as braised meat, sour sauces, pickled vegetable. In addition, the spirit of family reunion and the culture of when drinking water, remember its sources, also contribute to the important meaning of Tet through the tray of food. The tray of food is always fully prepared to offer to ancestors and then the family reunion symbolizing prosperity. About influence from culture. In addition, the traditional Vietnamese New Year is also a place to show many aspects of cultural exchange with China. This one influencing the custom of worshipping ancestors, the New Year tree, the ways of arrangement, and influence with chamber commerce about forming the district of Bánh Tét, braised pork with coconut water, the dishes shower stream, and the West. During the French colonial period, the same have the candy, beer, and wine appear during the New Year. In conclusion, the different geographical and climatic conditions between the three regions of North, Central, South have created diversity in taste cuisine. The North is sophisticated and rich. The Central is salty and spicy. The South is rich, sweet, and fresh. At the same time, the history and culture of each region are imprinted in the Tết trade, both expressing tradition and ritual, and reflecting the personality and lifestyle of each region. Once again, you can look back at the Tết dishes of all three regions of North, Central, and South Vietnam. Thank you for listening.